All right, let's go to Q&A from the audience. The first question, I think, is one that I'm sure you'll both have interesting perspectives on, which is, what advice do you have for women trying to maintain and or assert leadership or control of projects within a male-centric environment?
Oh, I think that's very tricky, and it has to do with a lot of social psychology and a very tricky experience. I mean, I've been in situations where my voice felt silenced, and it's actually not a very good feeling to go to work every day and be through that. What you need to have is an ally who's on your side, and if not, you also have to evaluate, is this a place you want to stay? Because it's not nurturing you. You can't go up and be promoted because they're not valuing your expertise. But in the short run, it is actually to write everything down and make sure that higher ups see it and try to get your voice out there. But you will need some allies there.
Yeah, it is a very difficult one, and I've been in the situations, as Sandy describes myself. I've learned a lot actually along the way, and I think that it's much harder when you're younger. But as you get older and you have more experience, then it becomes easier to know how to stand up for yourself in the right way. I think what Sandy said about keeping records and doing things. As an example, I had a situation where I'd had a review of my work, which I knew had been excellent. I knew. I mean, all sorts of figures and stats and everything. 100% of this, 100% of that, and I was given a good. I was given a small tick and a good, and I was asked to sign it. To sign off that I'd been a good girl, I'd done good work. I hadn't. I'd done excellent work. So I just refused to sign it, and I kept refusing to sign it. So it escalated. It escalated into all sorts of areas. And, it's difficult because then you become labeled as difficult. You become labeled as a troublemaker. But I think I had reached a point in my life where I just thought, well, so be it. But that I'm sticking to this, and I'm going to keep on with it. And, it got resolved in the end. But, there were moments when I think, I had to be very, very strong. I think Sandy's right. If you can find allies, that's obviously the best thing. But if you can't, then you have to, you just have to try and find the strength in yourself. And it's not a good place, because really, I think there should be better systems in place within organisations to help solve some of these things. To help to resolve some of these tensions that happen. I mean, I could talk about this for an awfully long time, but I'm looking and we only have 6 minutes, and I think Tanya's got her hands up, so I'm going to stop talking about it. But yeah,
I just want to throw in here
Tanya.
because I think it's really important to understand that when you talk about asserting yourself and trying to maintain control of a project when you're in a male-centric environment, is you have to remember that. Facts are your friends, and every single thing that you try to, qualify, you're going to have to make sure you've got all of the facts behind you, and that you've got, lots and lots of data and research behind every single decision that you're making, so that there isn't any question about your decision so much as here's the proof and here's the evidence. Do you want to go with the evidence, or do you want to go with your gut? And then it's less about you and more about the data. You need to try and detour that the way that people are going to perceive you. And the other thing, Marika mentioned, about being seen as difficult and a problem, troublemaker, is this is absolutely always going to be the case when it comes to a woman in a position of supposed power. Is that the minute you do cause any kind of a bump in the road there, everything is just magnified beyond, you know, any kind of scope of, you know, you might have said, you know, it's one small thing and they take it completely out of context. And that's the danger. That's what you're fighting against, is those perceptions. And how do you, you know, make sure that within the context of the studio, you know, you have enough allies, you know, as Sandy mentioned, you know, you have enough people around you that can back you up and can kind of give that qualification of, well, she sounds like she's being kind of, you know, reasonable to me. You know, the more people you have around you that can say that, because even just one person, one male saying that about a female suddenly makes that female more, you know, somebody that you want to listen to because somebody's backed them up. And it is something as simple as just having one guy on your side to qualify every decision. And I actually did this in a studio once where I had a few issues where I had an ally on my side, and every board meeting that we went into, I would make a suggestion or you know, try to put a point forward, and I would get wish-washed. You know, it's like kind of like, yeah, whatever, you know, that, yeah. And then he would literally just repeat exactly what I had said in exactly the same manner with exactly the same phraseology, and they would all go, "Oh, that's a brilliant idea!" And then he would deliberately go, "Yeah, but Tanya mentioned it first," just to make sure that it was steered back to me so that it was qualifying. Actually, you know, she did put that idea up first. So sometimes that's what you need. You need that help with re-steering perception, especially when you're dealing with a lot of male-centric egos in a boardroom. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on the matter. I will shut up now.
They're excellent thoughts, though, and I think that that's a really great example of what an ally is and what an ally can do. I think it's worth reminding people that, you know, being an ally isn't just thinking good thoughts about trying to help marginalized people in games. It's about lending your voice, lending your power, and really making sure that you're helping pave a path for them.